Well, hello and welcome to Thrive Thursday for Thursday, November 4th, 2021. It's our first Thrive of November. So I hope you're having a great week, and I've got a great one for you today. Of course, get these from James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. And today we're going to be talking about trying new ideas, preparation, and taking action. Well, those are all things we talk about a lot, so it's a good thing to focus on it this week. It's our 3-2-1, three ideas, two quotes, and one question to consider this week. So I'm going to back out of here, pop this up here a little bigger. I'm going to get rid of the ticker down at the bottom, and let's get this thing going. Well, all right, let's start with the first idea from me. One of the only true shortcuts in life is finding an expert and apprenticing under them. That really is the core foundation of A to B for me, is learning from our past and future thought leaders. Because why would you want to go out and make the same mistakes again? They've already been made. So let's find out what the shortcuts are. And let's get out there and instead of zigging, let's zag if that's what we need to do. Now, a lot of folks say, well, I want to zig, let's zig. Well, yeah, well, I agree with you there. But sometimes the zigging don't get it, and you got to zag. So you got to know which way to go. So look at our past and our future thought leaders. Find an expert and apprentice under them and make it happen for you. And we certainly offer that to you every single day. If you'll just get out there and get a deep dive to Destiny or 84 days. And you can go through all those deep dives with Darren Hardy, with James Clear, and as we get going, we got all different authors out there that you can learn from of things that they have went through and their resolutions and the fastest way to get things done. All right, well, let's look at the second one. Nearly everything in life is unfavorable once it grows to a certain size. It is entirely possible to have too many clients, too much work, too much fame, too much free time, and so on. Pay attention to when the thing you're chasing exceeds its usefulness. Okay, and I just got a note here that I left off Hal Elrod, so my apologies. Miracle Morning is super important to us here at A to B for me. So going back to number one of our thought leaders is Hal Elrod, is of course in Deep Dive to Destiny. Okay, well anyway, nearly everything in life is unfavorable if it grows a certain size, and a lot of folks they would agree to that because you can't get too much work and overcoming obstacles. Just this last week we talked about streamlining your life because sometimes you can just get it too cluttered. Now, there are some people that will disagree with too much fame because you haven't reached that yet. But when you get too much, I tell you what, it can be annoying. You can't go anywhere. You can't just ask anybody that's out there super successful. Doggone, you can't hardly go out anywhere anymore. You got to wear a baseball cap and sunglasses and really a hoodie or whatever just to be able to walk around. So, and you can certainly have too much free time. That, and I'm gonna tell you what, that'll get you in trouble. Too many clients because you don't want that. A lot of people say, well, I can't get enough clients. Well, yeah, you can, because then you start not being able to perform and do your best for all of them, and then you end up getting a bad reputation, and then you can't get any clients. And too much work, yeah. Well, mom always told me too much work makes Donnie a dull boy, and so you certainly don't want to get overextended in any of these areas. So we want to look at that every single week when you look at your key productive indicators. And again, be sure that every single week that you're balancing out at least relationships, a little recreation, your personal and health, and then your work areas. So be sure you get at least those four areas balanced. I know many of us have 7 or 8 areas of success, but to be sure you at least keep those balanced for yourself, because it is possible to get things overloaded in a lot of different areas, and the things you're chasing, they just exceed their usefulness. Number 3, the strategies that made you successful in the past will, at some point, reach their limit. Don't let your previous choices set your future ceiling. The willingness to try new ideas allows you to keep advancing. And I saw this early in my real estate career of strategies that had made people of the past successful. Had started out with a group. A gentleman had been doing it for 30, 40 years, and for that his mom did it, and then they had all these different ways that they made it successful. But guess what? It's 30, 40 years later. There's social media. There's a lot of different things that we can do to be successful. I don't know that me handing out flyers in neighborhoods every single day is the most effective use of my time. So those strategies work to make them successful, but now we're going to make me successful. And there's still are things in your past that made you successful. And you just have to be willing to, again, reassess. And we talked about this in overcoming obstacles yesterday as well. You have to, reassess and reevaluate where you're at because sometimes you feel like quitting because your strategy is wrong and because just your processes are wrong. But don't let those previous choices set your future ceiling because you got to try new ideas to keep advancing. So just don't get so caught up with yourself that you're not willing to listen to other people and try new ideas. All right, let's look at these quotes here. One is from Sun Tzu, who obviously, wrote The Art of War. He was a general and a military strategist, and if you haven't read The Art of War, it needs to be on your list. Get it, read it, because it's about strategies. It's about different ways to make things happen in your life, not just militarily, but a lot of it just applies to business and just your personal life. But really, really, really good book that, again, will help you out in a lot of different areas with tactics and things. Now, the art of war teaches us to rely not on the likelihood of the enemy's not coming, but on your own readiness to receive him, not on the chances of him not attacking, but rather on the fact that we have made our position unassailable. And again, you need to apply this to your client bases, to all of your own goals, and really apply it to yourself and your subconscious. Because I can guarantee you that your subconscious is one of those little enemies that is going to attack you, and you've made your position assailable, not unassailable, because you're not working your goals, you're not working your affirmations, and you're not doing everything you can do. Get your key productive indicators out, have a plan, make these things happen every week to keep your subconscious at bay. And that's what we talk about a lot of times with the art of war, is the fact that that enemy is within. And so you have to be ready to receive that. You have to be ready to counteract your subconscious. And so that's a real huge key in success for us. That's why at A to B for me, our first foundational strategy are your thoughts and getting your thoughts and your beliefs set and reset, really, most of the time, because you got them messed up over the years. But be sure that you want to concentrate on making your position unassailable, and that's why we have thoughts, action, habit, character, and destiny as our 5 core strategies here at A to B for me. Great book, Art of War. If you don't have it, you need to get it. All right, and then contemporary artist and activist, actually, Chinese activist, Ai Weiwei, on taking action. He actually had to go into exile to England, and then I think now he's in Portugal, I think, and I think he's actually developing a monument to Kyle Gorbachev at this time. So it's kind of interesting, but he was a strong advocate for democracy and things, and that just don't work in China. So he had to find a new location. But his quote is, "A small act is worth a million thoughts." And so much of this is reverberating back to yesterday in our Overcoming Obstacles session 17. If you haven't heard that, go back and catch that, because it was a long one. It's about 48 minutes, 50 minutes, but we got a lot of good things out of yesterday's session. But actions are just, they're so important. Acting is what it's all about. You can have all the thoughts, and you can give all the opinions, you can do all the talking you want to. But action just overrides every bit of that. We talked about yesterday about actions are stronger than your words, just because you can tell kids, you can tell peers, whatever, all the great things and how good you are and this, that, the other, but until you do something, you don't have any proof. But a small act, it's just worth a million thoughts. So just take some action, no matter how small it is, and get things rolling. But this was from the source, Meet the Most Interesting Person in China, which Ai Weiwei certainly was one of those. All right, but y'all look him up too. It's kind of an interesting story. He's still around. Question for you for this week. How much overlap is there between what you say is important to you and how you spent your attention over the last month? And this really is one of the key questions A to B for me as well, is how much overlap is there between what you say is important to you and how you spent your attention over the last month. So are your key actions and your key productive indicators actually dictating your thoughts and your actions, or are you doing other things that have nothing to do with your goals? So don't be kidding yourself. And this is the don't kid yourself question. If you say something's important to you, there should be some action to back that up. And if your key productive indicators for every week are down in the 10, 20% and you're not getting your goals achieved, well, there you go. You need to be spending more action on what's important to you, and or what you say is important to you, or else we need to change what you say is important to you. It gets back to the why and what's your destiny and what's your purpose in life. So let's be sure that we get these aligned, get your actions aligned with your morals, your key productive indicators, everything. Get all these things in line with really who you are and who you want to be. So a good one for this week, and again, it ties in a lot with yesterday's session. Hop in here. If you haven't gone through, and let me hop in this way so you can see a little bit better. If you haven't gone through session 17 of Overcoming Obstacles, go up on YouTube and the A to B for Me channel. Subscribe to it anyway if you haven't, because you need to. We've got a lot of good stuff every week, and listen to session 17 of Overcoming Obstacles. We have a whole channel on that, or you can go up to A to B for Me at Anchor FM and listen to it. Listen to it on a jog. This is a long one. It's like 48 minutes, but it's a good one. But you eventually do want to see the graphics, because it's got some good stuff, and always got great affirmations at the end of all those sessions too. So you want to pick up on that. We do it for you, so you might as well take advantage of it. All right, well, that is it for me for Thursday. It's it for me for the week with you, unless we have a strategy session tomorrow. But if you want one of those, just go up to a2bforme.info/15 with Don. It's 15 with Don. You can get a 15-minute strategy session with me absolutely free. And I got some things coming up on there that 4 questions that you'll be given to consider and ponder before we have our session, so you can be sure and have a good one. Other than that, have a great week. Keep moving in the direction of your dreams.